All right, everybody. Let's let those notifications go out. Yes, we made it today. Yesterday, and I'm going to share with you all what went down as to why we were not able to get up to go live yesterday. I had every intention of getting up and doing a live with y'all yesterday. It just did not work out because, man, let me tell you, spiritual weakness in high places, y'all. Remember, we do not wrestle against that flesh and blood. Okay, we are battling that spiritual wickedness in high places. So never forget the importance of God's spiritual armor. It is so important, and you got to watch out for those subtle ways of fear mongering. You know, the devil is always trying to plant things in that subconscious, always trying to, and it's all through subliminal messaging. And you have to be very vigilant and catch it, because when you know the truth about something, chosen one, you cannot allow the enemy to trick you into changing your mind, because we got it in 2 Corinthians 2 verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. I am Michelle Dickey, your host for CHA Let's Just Chat show, streaming on the YouTube channel Narcissism and Cognitive Dissonance, where trauma healing and spiritual growth are front and center while combating radio frequency for healthier living. So yeah, it's really important. Let me go ahead while that's going out to do this quick check here, like we normally do. But I have to tell you, yesterday was really wow. Okay, y'all remember those fire drills? You remember them fire drills we used to have when we were in elementary, and I think for some of it might have been still in high school too. I'm not sure. I don't recall having very many of them in high school, but definitely in elementary school. Remember those fire drills? Yeah, y'all had to line up single file, right, and head on out to the playground or wherever outside as practice. Okay, well, they do that here where we live. But listen, I understand the premise. Okay, listen, we still live in a fallen world. Okay, we live inside a matrix that operates under a heavy, heavy cloud of cognitive dissonance, and also a belief system that is based on fear and the obsession with health, because walking and living by faith and knowing that Jesus cleans everything because Jesus helps and heals. Yeah, we got to learn not to allow them to trick us into thinking things are true that we now know are not true. We have purged it from our subconscious, so we know that what a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And we are surrounded by chemicals and radio frequencies and all kinds of things. And so what are you going to have if you've got an excess of a certain chemical, and then you have moisture, water, and then you have air, right? Basic chemistry 101, you're going to have a chemical reaction, and that's all it is. It don't cause nothing. It's what you think. It's what you think. Remember that. Yes, remember that. It's what you think. Remember that. Okay, there we go. Because our thoughts are powerful. In my late granddad's book, he even talks about that. How our lives are governed by our thoughts. Let that sink in. I have told y'all many times that your thoughts are spiritual power. Why do you think we're in a spiritual battle for the mind? Because the devil wants to get that illusion of power and control over your thoughts. He wants you to start thinking bad things. He wants you to think negative. He wants you to fear this, fear that. Because he knows that what you fear is what you're going to attract. This is why we say, chosen one, positive vibe. Take that negative and flip it to a positive. Okay? Take that negative and flip it to a positive. Because there are circumstances outside of our control. Once we understand that and we let go and let God, We got to learn to recognize when the God Spirit is speaking in someone versus when the enemy is. And it does, oh man, that gets easier going forward as well. Okay, so you just see me back with the alarm testing. Oh, yeah. Okay. For those of you who may not have caught, this is why I tell y'all, you want to make sure you hit that subscribe button because he was able to get the notification. I know it's a little bit later than usual yesterday, but it was kind of last minute because I was hoping to be able to get up and at least go live by 4 p.m. Eastern time. And well, it just wasn't happening because the people who were responsible for doing it, see, they were supposed to be done at 4, and they were done about 3:47 or something like that. While I was typing that, I was like, you got to be kidding me. They just did it not even 9 minutes ago, and they're doing it again. Well, see, I took off for a good part of the day when I recognized what they were getting ready to do. And so as I was in here, I was going to put some makeup on, and while I was putting my hair in pigtails, I heard the chirp, and I went, oh no. And the Lord said, you ain't got to wear makeup. Go and get you some brunch and then go to Walmart and get what you need. So that there were some things I need for the bathroom and that kind of stuff. So I was like, yeah, okay. He's going to take your time. I was like, I'm going to take my time. Because you don't have to come back there. But I said, well, I'm thinking, okay, if I get back by like 3 or so I can get set up and get up here and deliver y'all a message or two. Well, lo and behold, I didn't see anybody. I was like, okay, maybe they're done. But the one thing I failed, I saw the door open to the room, and I saw that ladder. I was like, I recognize that ladder, but it didn't click that, oh, they're still here. So I came on in. I put the stand on this table. And all of a sudden, I'm getting set up, and and next thing, out of nowhere, it started to go off again. I was like, well, that's it. So I grabbed my keys and out to the car I went. And I was just sitting there. And so it stopped after about 7 minutes. And then I was like, okay, let me see here. I'm going to time this. And so God said, go in there, grab your water, because I was tweezing my eyebrow. That's what I was doing. And so, and so it just when it started to go off, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Okay, so I grabbed my, he said, put your phone in your pocket, grab them tweezers in the mirror. He said, get your water, and you go back to the car. So I took the negative and turned it into a positive, and I thought, well, shoot, we may as well do a second detox car sauna while we're at it. Why not? So there's a benefit to it, right? So to get as many toxins out as possible. And so I just sat there and waited patiently all the way up to about 4:30 because, see, at 4 o'clock, they kept driving the van back and forth. I don't know what. Anyway, whatever. I was like, they sitting there playing head game. That's exactly what they were doing. They were playing head game. And I knew it. I just kept tweezing my eyebrows. In between is when I was able to get that message in the community forum for you all. And so, it really, I said to myself, because they already had done it. Right, they already had done it throughout the day, I know. And then I was like, okay, but how often? I mean, what is it with overdoing? Well, we know that the devil, now when you talk about the spiritual side, we know what that's all about. Because after you sit in there and you are exposed to that for X amount of time, your ANS is going to go numb. Your ANS is going to go numb. Your heart rate is going to go up. You ain't even going to know it. Your nervous system is going to be shot sitting in there if you happen to be home and you are exposed to that on and off throughout the day like that. Your nervous system is going to be shot. And your nervous system could be all screwed up. And so then for today's actual Zap Day, crazy, huh? It is crazy. It really is. But I'll tell you, here's the positive out of all of that, but I met a really sweet young lady who also has a very positive mindset. And I could tell that she's passionate about waiting tables. And it was nice and it was refreshing. So I also noticed a place in that same complex that practices holistic medicine. Alternative, right? So should I ever need their services, I wrote their name and their number down. So you see how God works, right? Like, okay, they're going to play with that over there. And I know not to allow myself to be exposed to that, overexposed. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, combating radio frequency. That's how we do it. We get around that resistance with the Heavenly Father. So I go to a new place I've never eaten before. I pulled up and, like I said, very sweet young lady. And she really, truly, she likes her job. And, well, she loves her. She said, you got to love what you do. And I said, that's right. Because when you love what you do, you're going to do more of it. Just like when I get up here and share these things with you all and deliver the messages. Because remember, lest Satan should get an advantage of us. For we are not ignorant of his devices. That vigilance and awareness. And so what the world wants to try and label as something that goes with something we know doesn't exist, but only if we think it. But there's so many people, and there's nothing we can do about it. There's so many people convinced that all of that stuff is real. Because, like, we once did too, so we can't forget that, you all. We have got to remember that we were once with a similar belief system, okay, about a lot of things being real, that we now are learning are not, and that the world is a stage, and that a lot of the things that are put in place policy-wise, we get it, okay? I get it. Workers have to abide by company policies and whatever, health codes and stuff like that have been drummed up over the years based on a long-held belief that this is a particular something or other that causes this that does not exist. But see, they don't know that. So it's like the Lord reminded me there's something else taking place in this season that is also a blessing in disguise. It's kind of like a new do-over in a way, because I no longer have, let's just say, the items that came with me from a smoke-filled environment. Remember all the residue and the stuff that I was finding coming from that stuff, and a lot of it had to get washed. My clothes that I kept, I had to wash those at least 3 times to get the cigarette residue out. And I was like, man, that's just crazy. And all of that contributed to something that happened inside this place where they are giving me a new unit. Okay, I will give you all the updates on that as they unfold, because it could be real quick. Because that kind of occurrence is out of my control. And you know I'm talking about the dust, right? Yeah. But they call it something else. I know it's just dust. Accumulated dust. You know, that basic chemistry 101, a reaction between salt, air, and water. That's all it is. And then whatever chemicals are in the paint, I don't know. And it's not a coincidence that after yesterday's alarm testing, I look over at this wall, and right there in the middle, guess what I see? That's right. Because you got to remember that frequencies and vibrations, right? Energy, frequencies, and vibrations will shake things loose. Think about that. It will shake things loose. So if there's a little bit of dust, it's going, and it's inside, yeah, it's gonna shake it loose. And so I see the little circle. Little dust circle there. So I take my duster and cleaned it right up. But the thing is that the other stuff that's a little bit, like, I guess you can say, caked on there, I didn't catch it quick enough with the duster. That's all. Because I had to learn what it was. I had to learn, because when the cigarette infested stuff, yeah, a lot of it gone. And the stuff that I was able to keep has been washed several times. And then, of course, several times over since wearing them again. And it pretty much, curtailed a lot. And then my own body heat. Okay. Remember, when I first got here, my own body heat, my internal body heat was, whoo! It was through the roof. But see, now, since detoxing and all that, we're in a better place. And, it's really intriguing. It's been quite the journey, I have to tell you. Y'all, hold on just 1 second. They're gonna see, like I just told y'all, we're ready to start moving stuff over to the new unit. So so I can keep my keys. He'll be back after we finish here at about a half hour or so, y'all. I'm not gonna be on for a whole hour, just to let you know, because that's going on. And so, and it's fine. Like I said, it's a blessing in disguise. It takes a big load off of me, because it's like I told him, I said, I was doing my best to clean a little here and there as I could physically. And she's like, yeah, but she said, honey, she's like, that's way too much for you to try to do on your own. And I said, yeah, I guess I had to realize that myself. Because I was trying to find something that would take care of some other areas without making a larger mess. And I was not having any luck finding anything that would be suitable. So it's best for them to have their professional come on in and just put me in a new unit this time. So I'm just gonna, and it's not going to slow us down or anything like that. We're still gonna get up here with y'all and give y'all God's word, and it's just the way it is. I did not expect that. I thought they were going to have a new set, but that's okay. Yeah, anyhow. Yeah, that's kind of strange. They will move my locks over there, but then how am I going to lock my door when I go to bed? Good question, huh? Anywho. Yeah. Because I don't have anybody coming to help me with this till tomorrow. You see what the devil's trying to do, right? They're going to try to force me to go to a hotel for tonight. Always, the devil always got to try to find a way to get in your finances. See, don't be ignorant to his devices. That's exactly what he's trying to do. Trying to force me to have to go sleep in a hotel for one night. I come back here first thing in the morning. You know what, though? With the Godhead, we'll work it out. We'll work it out. We'll figure something out. I'll talk to him when he comes back and be like, hey, how are we going to do this? Because they're going to be here like first thing in the morning. I have been fine the last several months. Anywho, we'll work out that salvation. But I see that that's a big part of that's what they're trying to do, like almost force me to be out of here. But then all my stuff, I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not comfortable with that at all. So, yeah. See how they try to catch you off guard? So you have to know who's talking. Is it the God spirit or is it the enemy talking? You know what I'm saying? You have to listen. You have to kind of sort through all that. But yeah, that through all of that was definitely crazy. And then now even more crazy making, kind of in a way today, but not all bad. I mean, it's there's some good coming out of it. However, yeah, doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because I'm not going to be able to get everything out in one night. So how are they going to? Anywho, like I said, I'll talk to them and I'll see if we can't work something out because that just doesn't make sense. Because if I'm going to spend several hours moving and then by the time I go, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. But anyhow, they'll figure it out. All right. Anyhow, but yeah, I want y'all to stay vigilant and aware. Remember, 2 Corinthians 2:11 is so important because this is how we gotta kind of like really stay on top of what's happening and what's going on. Right. Yeah. Okay. Into a new one. Yeah. I know the right. It's a cigarette smell from. Oh gosh. Yeah. And we've gotten rid of it. Remember, I had to take my books and several things, put them in the trunk of my car and air them out. Yeah, we did a lot of that. And I know I'm about to find out as far as show me. I know we're just a few down at the same building, same everything, just a different unit. But, well, yeah, and that's the way I look at it. It's kind of like a fresh start. I just don't like how it's unfolding at this point right now. So, yeah, that with the whole the door lock, but see, right, because she was telling me earlier, see, this is how they're trying to instill fear, while at the same time the devil's trying to get more into my finances. You see how that works? Because I gotta pay some dues to help me move the heavy stuff in the morning, and so now and you want me to also pay for a hotel room, plus you want me to pay rent. Okay, I see. I see what the devil's doing. He's trying to steal. Yeah, I see it. It's crazy. It really, truly is. But yeah, no, they're not going to do anything. I have a couple people coming in the morning that are just going to help me but discernment. Listen, well, yeah, you can call it that. You can call it a paint issue. There you go. Because that's really what it is. Dust is what it is. It's dust. But anyhow, they think it's something else. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. They think it's something else. And they also think that something's going to happen to my health when I'm like, his name is Jesus. He cleans everything. I'm good. But see, they don't know that because of the long-held belief systems. Remember that, y'all. People who are conformed to and of this world believe that certain things cause ailments and other things that we know now in God's reality don't really exist. But see, I know that the enemy is also trying to make things difficult. Because, right, I mean, I'm gonna go live. But see, that's the thing. It's like I let her know that. I said, all right. She's like, I'll get with you in about an hour. On all of that. I'm like, okay. And then he wants to come and right in the middle. The devil has awful timing. So. Right, no dust in the other place. And there won't be because I'm now, right, I've taken care of a lot of the stuff that contributed to that in here in the first place, including my internal body heat. So a lot of all that's been remedied. So, right. Yeah, he had awful timing, because that's how we're able to figure out who's operating. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you know a person, you're like, okay, and you know that both God and the devil has access to them. You're just like, okay, you have to kind of really pay attention to action, things like that. Like, and you got to remember, they don't know. Remember, crept in unaware. Okay, many crept in unaware. They really don't know. They're just, a lot of times, a lot of them are just doing what they're being told to do. Also, you got to remember that. Employees are being told to do, doing what they're being told to do. That's fine. They're doing their job. So they don't know that perhaps the policy that was put in place by the enemy. And so they don't know that. They don't know that. Chosen ones do. We do. We know. And it's really intriguing to discover that, gosh, wow, many things. But you know what? I already know that the devil does this because he wants to instill panic. He wants to instill financial fear. And I'm sitting here going, it hasn't worked so far, and it certainly won't, because I know that God always provides. He always has, he always will. And we figure that out by doing what they're told to do. And a lot of times they don't even know why they're being told to do that, other than this, that, and the other. But I can tell, I feel the force. The force. So that basically means that I'm going to need to make sure that anything that is malleable gets locked up in the new place. That's that. So it's like putting twice the work on me this evening when I got people coming to help me with the heavy stuff in the morning. Yeah. Crazy, huh? Sure is. Absolutely freaking nuts. But that's the devil for you. So don't forget that. Don't forget that. And so, the devil likes to, here's some homework for y'all. You got to be careful when using the word create when talking about the devil, because the devil can't create nothing. He can only cause. And so, he likes to cause upheaval. Absolutely. He wants to cause instability. He wants to cause you to step out of character. He wants to cause you unnecessary stress. He wants to cause you to, and doesn't want to give you the time to sit here and go, hey, wait a minute. You're going to do that? Oh, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. You're going to force me to go and get a hotel for the night, when you know darn well I don't need to for one night. After being here for the last how many months that this has been going on? Yeah. So luckily it's a weekday. But just wants to cause unnecessary stress, unnecessary everything. But that's okay, because like I said, with the Godhead, we get through it. We always have, we always will. So, causes. So, there you go. Focus on that, y'all. If you are used to using the word create when talking about the devil, we got to change that word to cause. Just like narcissists. I know a lot of people talk about narcissists creating problems. No. You don't create a problem. You cause a problem. It's different there. Because just like the devil cannot procreate, so he can't create. He has nothing new. He's not original. Just like the narcissist, they can only cause chaos and drama. They don't create it. It's already there. Chaos and drama is already there. So they can only cause it. They can't create it because it's the same chaos and drama over and over again, right? Nothing new. When you co-create with our creator, you're creating something new, something that's never been seen before, something that's never been. But as narcissists and their master, the devil, inside the matrix, they will cause things. They don't create. They will cause. So anytime you catch yourself thinking that the devil is creating something, you gotta stop and go, wait a minute. He can't create. He's causing that. Trying to cause confusion. He's trying to cause fear. He's trying to cause this. He's trying to cause instability. He's trying to cause certain situations. Yeah, he's trying to cause us to maybe try to move too fast and do something, because we got to remember, yesterday was what? Alarm testing day. Didn't get to me. Today's what? That day. Not going to get to me. But the devil wants to try anyway, and this is how he's doing it, because he knows that we're healing. He knows that a lot of toxins are out of the body now. He knows that, I resist the devil and he shall flee. Y'all do the same. Right? We submit ourselves, therefore, to God. James 4, verse 7. And so we resist the devil and he shall flee. And we got to, you just got to keep up with that. Keep up with that. But stay vigilant and aware. All right. So, they can cause trouble. Cause trouble. Not exactly. There you go. Trouble's already there. You can't create something that's already there. So, okay, if you, Chris wants to know, he says, if you could move into my ideal place, would you move to a house? It'll be a house. Absolutely. 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 We're going to have a house. Oh, yeah. I already see it in the spiritual. See, y'all got to get that vision in the spiritual first. I already see it in the spiritual. It's just a matter of time for it will manifest in the physical. See, this is the thing, that when you know how powerful your thoughts are, be mindful what you're speaking to existence. Yes, you're welcome. Money's not even an object anyway, but I know what you're talking about. If it wasn't an issue. But that don't even matter. It'll be a house. You know what? As far as where, I'm leaving that up to God. We'll find out when the time comes. Because I know the Lord will grant us our heart desires. But I leave it up to God. I'm like, wherever it's going to be, wherever God needs me. If God still needs me in Florida, then it'll be in Florida. If he needs me he says, okay, now I need you somewhere else. He'll replant me somewhere else. I mean, yeah, it's God guiding my steps. Thank you. Thank you for those prayers. And then likewise for anyone else, we got to pray for each other. We got to continuously pray for each other. And then walk and live by faith and just know. Okay, just know that it's crazy. It really is crazy how all this stuff goes out, and how the devil plays these games and things like that out there in this world. So, yeah, y'all, we got to keep on keeping on. That's it. Yes, that's it. Both hands praying. Because this kind of crazy making with the whole, it's almost like an insane asylum sometimes. And, we know we don't need to go through this forever. God's still revealing some things about the devil games and tricks that he plays. But he told me earlier today, he said, I said, God's timing. And I said, okay, so what is what is with the God's timing on this? And he said, because he has revealed as much as he possibly can, in this unit. As far as dust to dust, my own internal body, he contributing to some things, and then also, all the other stuff that we had to learn about the types of material and furniture that will do fairly well in this type of environment, atmosphere, if you will. We learned that wood not real friendly in here, but you definitely want plastic and where possible. Those plastic storage bins, not the totes, but the ones that have drawers. Okay, well, that kind of stuff serve better as dressers in these environments as well. So and just kind of looking around, and I'm like, and then where things, like he taught me where things were located, high frequency, low frequency, and then also where the high and low frequency together. So he's like, we learned all of that while being in here. And so we take that knowledge with us. So who knows what else God got to reveal to me. And I think now it's more to a point of more of how the matrix operates based on the obsession with certain things that don't exist and that are not real and the likes. So I think that's next season. And so we're going to be bringing a lot more to y'all. And don't forget the Truth Seeker podcast, the pre-record. The link is down below for the direct hosting site. But you can catch that on Spotify, iHeart, Apple Podcast, and Listen Notes, Pandora, Stitcher, Deezer, TuneIn. If you type in CHA's Truth Seeker podcast, make sure you put CHA apostrophe S, okay? Truth Seeker podcast, and it'll pop right up on those platforms. And so and we're going to keep bringing y'all more of that. It's amazing. It's amazing. Right, living, it's not living close to neighbors, but it's just the way that the laws, what I'm saying, the policies and the laws and things like that, it's just the way that they are carried out. Very narcissistic and very make-believe and very delusional in many ways. But it's just the way it is. And so we start to see more how they overdo on that. And like I was saying earlier, that yesterday was a constant on, and I'm like, how many times do you need to test that to make sure it's working? I mean, if it's working after the first few times, I think you're good to go. I mean, seriously, y'all. Come on now. But that's what they do. It's just they love to overdo. And I understand that, okay, they're doing what they're told. But why so many times? You know what I'm saying? Like, why that many times? Don't make sense, does it? Yeah, there you go. That's the right word, Chris. Thank you. Absurd policies and procedures. There you go. Yeah, designed by the game of narcissism. Yes, thank you, Chris. Yes, and I know we'll be fine. I know we'll be fine. And you know what that means? If we're going to do that, then, didn't even think about that. But you know what? There's another benefit to all of this. I'm going to start thinking about that. I'm going to start thinking about all of the benefits that come with what's happening right now in this season, in this day, in this hour. All the benefits. Because I look at it as it's a do-over. It's like another new beginning. So, but right, why over-testing? That's what I'm telling y'all. Just like the narcissists love to over-exaggerate They over-exaggerate everything. They got to make mountains out of molehills. Oh, it's such a big deal. I'm like, really? You're not going to instill fear in chosen one. Once we understand 1 John 4 verse 18, that perfect love casteth out all fear, and that God is that perfect love, is on the inside, not going to get us to step out of character anymore. The righteous are bold as a lion. The righteous are bold as a lion. And remember, y'all, that does not mean go out there and be arrogant. No, that just means stand your ground. Stand your ground. Okay, because we also know many people operate under the demon of assumption. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this opportunity. And yeah, I mean, listen, it's all good. It's all good. We can get everything worked out just fine. So I'm going to go ahead, y'all. Yeah, go with the God flow. Thank you for that reminder. That's what we're doing. Yeah, just going with the God flow is what I've been doing all day. When I was told what needed to be done, and then they came in this morning and did another assessment, and and then I got my walk-in, came back, and then I got the update, and I was like, okay, and stuff like that. So, you know, and then when she told me what the plan of action was, I said, okay. And so, but I had to get my renter's insurance updated and all that other stuff too. So we took care of that. And like I said, things happen for a reason, right? Things happen for a reason, right? Stand your ground, know you're right, and without stepping out of character. That's it. That's it. And you know what? I just felt gotta do a backflip because we just figured something out. I gotta work it out. I'll bring it to y'all once we've got it worked out. Once we've got it worked out. But it's been about that half hour, and so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up for today. We'll be back. We will be back in a flash. It's gonna be quick. Okay, it's gonna be quick. And I don't mean so quick where anything bad gonna happen. No, but I already got a plan. You see, for example, first thing that we're gonna do, bathroom, right? Then as we go, kitchen, food, all the food. Because if they gonna take that long, you dang straight, we're gonna take everything, okay, that we possibly can, and then of course all of our equipment. Okay. Yeah, we got a plan. We got a plan. You know God and the 5 P's, right? So now we're about to go. We've been preparing, but now we're about to go and produce and put it into action. All right? So everything happens for a reason. So I appreciate y'all understanding. But we want to go ahead and get this thing going, get the ball rolling. And I wanted to get up here and just give y'all that message and a crazy making. And do not fall for it. If you sense that they are overdoing or over-exaggerating, just know that that's the enemy trying to instill fear, and don't let it get in there. Okay, don't let it get in there. Take it at face value. Remind yourself, well, you know what? They're of this world. That's their belief system, not ours. Okay, but meet in the middle and just go, you know what? Go with the God flow, right, Chris? Thank you. All right, y'all. So there you go. Keep on keeping on, and thank you, okay, again, for understanding. And I don't like that such short notice that we're not going live, but just know sometimes that happens. Again, learn to let go of things outside of your control and go with the God flow. Everything works out in our favor anyway, all the time. I'm sending love and light to all fellow warriors. Thank you for watching, listening, and for your continued support. Till next time, let's show some gratitude to the Heavenly Father, and you keep being you. In Jesus' name, amen.